Okay, let's talk about how to use Google Forms to provide individualized feedback to students. So here's an example of a Google form that I have created. It's an ACT practice passage from the English test. First thing I always do in a Google form is to make sure that my students have a required question to put their name on it. And so here is the first question from passage two. And I have snipped that and added it as an image and then added the choices at the bottom. So let's say, for example, that we're going to pick the wrong answer of F. F is not the correct answer. When I hit next, it's going to tell me that that is the incorrect answer. Please watch the video and try again. So for a student who misses the question, they're going to be immediately taken to this video. So if I click on the video and then click the little YouTube icon, it's going to take me out to YouTube and let me see full screen. If you just play it inside the form, let's look. It's going to tell you that this is not available. But if you click right there, watch on YouTube, and it takes you out to the YouTube, you can actually let's look at question number 6. See it at full screen. And so I recorded on Screencastify, then uploaded to my YouTube channel so that I could connect that in the Google form. So this is an explanation of the skill being tested at that particular point in the test. So once students watch that, they get a second attempt. And so if they answer correctly, G is the correct answer. When I choose the correct answer and click next, it says correct. Please answer the next question. So it takes me to question number 17 and I go on. So I go through this process. If I get it right, I go on to the next question. And if I miss it, I get the video. I've also set this Google form up so that if I miss it a second and a third time, I get caught in that loop of going back to the video. So it forces the student to go back, rewatch the video over and over until they get the correct answer. Obviously, they're going to eventually, by process of elimination, get the right answer, but hopefully that helps them to understand the concept that's being taught. You could also, on second attempt, reduce the number of choices or modify the question or provide feedback. So there's several skills, technical skills that you're going to have in order to do this. So I'm going to show you what I did to make this Google form. So go into your drive, into the folder where you want to create the Google form. Let's create a blank form. And I'm just going to show you my process because this is what makes sense for me. And I'm going to call this ACT English, it's test B05, and we're going to work on passage 1 today. So I click up here, make sure that it's given the title. As I said earlier, I always ask my students to put in last name, comma, first name, so that when I create the spreadsheet, I can sort that. Okay, so I'm going to add the first question. Now you'll notice in my Google form, I snipped actual questions and placed it in here. So let me show you how I do that. Now, obviously, you could just type your own question here in your multiple choice. But for what I'm doing, I need to actually snip it from the original test. So here is a PDF version of that question. I'm going to use the snipping tool. Do you guys use the snipping tool? If not, you need to. It's a game changer. So it's on all Windows machines. So you click New, and whatever you encircle is going to be an image. And so just to help me, I save those to my downloads folder so that I can quickly access them. So that's question 1. All right. So I'm going to go back over here to my Google form, and I click on this little icon of an image, and I'm going to browse to my downloads folder, and there it is, question 1. Okay, so it puts question 1 on there for me. I don't have to retype any of that business at all. I want to make sure that this is a multiple choice question. And since this is an A, B, C, or D question, I'm going to type in A, and it's going to ask me to add all. So I've got them all in there. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is to make sure that I have turned this on as a quiz. I'm going to uncheck restrict to users of Cumberland County Board of Education because I do this with students outside of Cumberland County occasionally. I'm going to make this a quiz, and I'm going to turn off that they can see the correct answers because I want them to get that second attempt at doing that. So I save that, and I click on answer key. I'm going to make this worth 1 point. And let's say, for example, that A is the correct answer. So I've got it marked. Okay, now here's where you set up the sections so that if they get it correct or incorrect, it's going to take them to the next question. I click on this icon which says add section. Okay, so I always label the first section as the incorrect answer. So I'm going to entitle this Incorrect Answer. Please watch the video and try again. Okay. Then I'm going to reinsert that question. So this is question 1, attempt 2. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did the first time. I'm going to set up the question. I'm going to set up the answer choices. On this time, I'm going to leave it as 0 points, and I'm going to mark the correct answer as A and click Done. I'm then going to add another section. This section is going to say, correct answer. Please answer the next question. Okay? And then I'm going to add a question here, and this is going to be question 2. All right. So now here I go back and let's look at question 1. This is first attempt. I want to click on the 3 dots in the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to select Go to Section based on answer. So here's where I program the Google form where it's going to take students next. So on the question A, if they mark A, I want them to go to the next answer. So I'm going to choose the one that says correct answer, next question. For B, C, and D, those are the distractors that are incorrect. I want them to go back, so I'm going to choose go to section 2, which says incorrect answer. Please watch the video. Okay? And so that's got that question set up. And then question 2, or the second attempt, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on the 3 dots, go to section based on answer. If they get it correct, they're going to go to section 3. Now, I set mine up so that it keeps them in this loop. And so if they still answer it incorrectly, I want them to go back to section 2 and rewatch the video. Okay? So that is going to provide them with feedback. I can also add answer feedback on incorrect answers and correct answers here if I want to do that on second attempt. So you may have a situation where you don't want them to watch the video twice, but you just want to put in feedback as to why that's the incorrect answer or why that is the correct answer. Now, so we dealt with the skill of creating sections, with the skill of snipping. If you want to snip from a previous test, obviously you can just type your questions in there if you want to. The next skill I want to show you is how to insert a video that you have created. So let's say, for example, that I want to create a video explaining the correct answer for number 1. So what I want to do is I'm going to use Screencastify, one of my favorite apps, and I'm going to record a video. Okay. Once I get my Screencastify video recorded, I'm going to download it, and then I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. Now, the reason I do this is because it works much better to insert this in Google Form. So when I go to my Google channel, I go to upload video, I'm going to browse, and it's going to give me the ability to select a file and add it. So here's one I made yesterday for question 30 on that exam. And I'm going to choose, no, it's not made for kids. And I'm going to make it public and publish. And so when I do that, it's going to process the film. It may take you a few minutes to do that, depending on the length of your explanation. And it's going to give you an opportunity to have a shareable link. So if I go and look at my videos, so here are my videos. If I click on the 3 dots and get a shareable link, and then I come back to my Google form, okay? So incorrect answer, please watch the video. I'm going to click on that section, and I'm going to come here where it says add video. I'm going to add it from YouTube. I'm going to Control V to paste and click the search bar, and there it links to my YouTube channel for question. I would have question 1 here, obviously. I'm just doing this as an example. And then I select it, okay? I always give the video a title. I select the video and click on the 3 dots to center align. And then I drag it from a corner just to make it a little bit bigger when students see it so that they can click on it and then click on the YouTube to get full screen, okay? And so then I would go on and post question 2. So you can go on and add as many sections as you need to keep this process going. So the first example that I showed you, here's the actual file. So I did all 15 questions of passage 2. So that means I have 30 total sections in this. So section 30 is there. At the very end of this, when I get to the correct answer, notice how many options I have there. So it's kind of important that you keep everything in order. And once you pick a system, you stick with it. But if they get the correct answer on the last question, it takes them to submit form instead of to the next section. So they either get the incorrect answer and watch a video and get a second attempt, or they get the correct answer and are asked to submit the form. Then once you have all of your answers submitted, obviously you can click on responses. You can generate that spreadsheet. And since you've asked students to enter by their last and first name, you can alphabetize that. And then you can begin to analyze the data, and you can drill down and see which question was missed most frequently. And if questions were missed on second attempt, you're going to be able to see that in the spreadsheet as well. So this is just a really good way that you can provide immediate feedback for students, and it's going to create a wealth of data for you to understand the degree to which students have mastered certain concepts. So again, you just create those sections, insert the videos, and they get the explanation for the answer. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you have questions about it, don't hesitate to send me an email.